Hey everybody, how you doing? I hope you're well. I have I wrote a piece a few days ago that expressed concern about Taysom Hill, quarterback of the New Orleans Saints, and the popular view of Taysom Hill, who is the multifunctional uh, player of the New Orleans Saints, is that he had one concussion. Okay, and that concussion was the one that Saints fans saw that occurred after a hit he is sustained on the 10th of October when the Saints played the Washington football team. He was playing actually kind of a hybrid slot back tight end position, but he was hit in a way where it was clearly obvious that he was in pain, that he was impacted by it. Okay. He was out for 3 weeks. But the truth of the matter is, when I started to do the research, I learned that Taysom actually had his first concussion of the year happened on the 3rd of January of this year, 2021, when the Saints played the Carolina Panthers. And he was out for 5 days, and he was allowed to practice. And then he played in the wild card game, pitting the visiting Chicago Bears against the host New Orleans Saints. Well, as it turned out, he was hit during the Bears game in such a way that he went down really hard twice. The first time was when he was at quarterback and was really slammed down the turf. Head hit the turf like that. The second time was when he was at tight end and caught a pass downfield about 15 yards and was knocked out of bounds, and his head hit the turf, so hard that the announcer took note of it. It looked bad, folks. So while it's officially recorded that he had 2 concussions, if you look at the video from that game alone, you could arguably say that he had 3. 3. So here we go now with Hill in a situation where after the Washington football team game and on November 12th, when he talked to the press, Hill said there was a 45-minute gap where he didn't remember anything. That is one of the classic symptoms of a person who has CTE. He also said that he was hearing noises and other visual disturbances, which caused the Saints to hold him out for a substantial amount of time. Remember, that happened on the 10th of October. He didn't come back to practice in limited role until, I believe, the 12th of November. So now, and because Trevor Siemien isn't playing well, which I'll get to in a second, and Jameis Winston is out with damaged knee and ACL, he went through a Joe Burrow surgery. Now he's on the mend and starting rehab. The Saints have decided to start Taysom Hill at quarterback for the Thursday night game against the Cowboys. I think Taysom Hill should retire. because Taysom Hill has the unique place of playing not just quarterback, but again, tight end, wide receiver, and running back, as well as on special teams over his time. The number of times this man has been concussed has not been properly reported. Again, the number of times that Taysom Hill has been concussed is not properly reported. And it's not enough to say, well, it's okay, he can take it, he got his bell rung, he can get out there. No. When you say that you lost a 45-minute chunk of your life you can't remember, that's when it's time to start rethinking your priorities. And if the Saints actually cared about Taysom Hill as an individual, they would say, you know what? We're not going to be responsible for your getting yourself hurt to a point where you don't have a life in the future. You got to stop. But they're not doing that because I guess Taysom has this dream of starting and he can't accept. It seems like he can't accept that he lost to Jameis Winston, and his fans can't, and they keep enabling him. Jameis Winston is a Heisman Trophy winning top flight passer who comes into a system that I have discovered does not use the step pattern or steps way of throwing the football. They use yards. And that's why you have these wild pass differences in performance between Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemien and Jameis Winston, who's way up here, who understands how to throw on time better than they do. But if they had a system where the plays were drawn, where you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, it's meticulous in the Bill Walsh way, you would have more of a standardized level of performance for the quarterbacks. It'd be easier to replace one with the other as a baseline. The Saints don't have that. Because if I tell you, hey, drop back 5 yards, how do you know it's 5 yards? You have to get a feel for that. When I say drop back 5 steps, you don't have to get a feel for those steps. You know what it feels like to drop back 5 steps. Or if I say, hey, 3 big steps, too little, right? That's not in the Saints offense. And so the point I'm making is Taysom is going into a system where his errors in passing and footwork will come back yet again in a situation where he has not played before the entire year, and the Saints are going to throw him out there to the Wolves, the Cowboys, and risk a 3rd concussion. It's not a good thing. All right, I'm gone. Subscribe to Zenny62, bookmark OaklandNewsNow.com, and I pray for him. And I fear that this is not the right thing to do, and he should retire. He's been hit enough. Thank you.